Hello, guys. Welcome to our broadcasting. We just launched our event. It's a promo video for our future communities. So the idea is to combine all the worldwide knowledge in one place between Dubai, Moscow, and New York. So my idea is just explain what is the industry in pretty simple words. And from starting point, I would like to introduce myself, and later on you could introduce yourself, your background. So regarding myself, before blockchain, I was a business development guy in top IT companies for CIS region. I worked for Hewlett-Packard, I worked for Lenovo, for Buffalo Technology Japan, and issued a lot of tons of goods of electronics inside the CIS region. For example, in Lenovo, from top 10 company, for 3 years, we become number 3 company in CIS market. How I jump into blockchain? It's pretty funny story. So after finishing my IT business as a business development guy, I search in some niches, and I go to YouTube, and I start to promoting some campaign, some IT companies through YouTube with some bloggers, etc., etc. And at the beginning of 2015, some IT companies, they starting to launch ICO. And they started to pay me in Bitcoin. And at that point of view, at that beginning, I doesn't know what it is. So that's why I start to learn, because they want to send me some Bitcoin and I don't have a wallet. And year after year, we launch a lot of ICO through my network, through YouTube, through some blogs, etc., etc. And I began to promote different projects. For example, I worked 2 years for Gradis blockchain. We raise up $20 million, and we create alternative protocol for fast transaction up to 300,000 transactions per second. It's really huge. We done it, we launched it, and it's still working. Right now, I work for Emirates company. I am a chief sales officer, and I promote different products like DeFi, like Swap, listing, etc., globally, mostly for Arabic countries. And I decided to connect all my network. I have huge network, more than 15,000 people globally, because I travel a lot on different events in New York. I lived in California for a long time. So this is my story. So go ahead, guys, show who you are to our community.
Yes, okay, it's my pleasure to be here. My name is Jorge Sebastiao. I have been in IT for a little bit over 35 years. First was in Canada and North America. And about 25 years ago, I came to Middle East, Europe, Asia, Pacific region, and even some parts of Africa. My background is actually mathematics, cybersecurity, and overall computer science. I got into blockchain about 5 years or so ago, in which I started assisting some of the initial ICOs, which eventually became IEOs, and now STOs, and now we have digital assets as well. Around about 2+ years ago, we started a group of networking connections known as EcoX. We started first in Dubai with physical meetings, and eventually we also moved to virtual meetings as well. And basically, EcoX has now expanded to about 7 other cities as well. Riyadh, Bahrain, Kuwait, Cairo, Muscat, Beirut, and so on. And what this meetings allows us to do with the online groups is for people which are in the industry of blockchain, not necessarily just Bitcoin or Ethereum or cryptocurrencies, but even enterprise blockchain and how to use blockchain in real world applications, could be smart cities or protection of data, identity management. So we meet regularly knowledge. So that really means that's why EcoX comes from, ecosystem and connections. And I think both ecosystem and connections are an important part of being successful in today's world, because when you're starting a new business, you don't do everything yourself. You have some ideas, you have some knowledge, and then you combine a series of APIs, a series of technologies, and you bring different knowledge into your team, some from finance, some from sales and marketing, some from technology, and you combine all of this together to deliver up-to-date solution. Today, I am also chairman of an organization called GBO, stands for Global Blockchain Organization, that is doing high-impact blockchain projects around the world, and I have about 10 plus active projects in various parts of the world. And it's obviously a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to welcoming the audience and to welcome the community to participate in an active way, where you happen to be in North America, like New York, or even Canada, Toronto, where you happen to be in Moscow or Asia, and where you happen to be around the Middle East, any of the countries. And of course, there's quite a lot of activity in this area as well. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. My pleasure to be with you as well. I'm really thankful for this opportunity. I am public speaker. I am moderating a huge amount of the events worldwide. On this event as well, I'm going to just a little bit moderate and represent Moscow. I'm going to be I'm going to be presenting informations and the companies and all this stuff to another countries. I'm talking about Dubai, and I'm talking about New York City. From this side, how am I jumping in this very interesting and this amazing industry? I've been working as CIT manager, communication and infrastructure manager in the same company. It calls Hewlett Packard Enterprise at that time. And I have saw that, I know how it's happened by Microsoft company somehow looking for Ethereum, what's going on distributed ledger, what's going on this some kind of programming tools called smart contract. On that point of view, I really get interested. I have heard about Bitcoin in 2011, but don't have exception on that coin. Just something else happened on this industry. But when Ethereum starts, for me is new kind of era in programming. That's why I'm here. I'm starting from 2017, organizing a lot amount of events. And when I see that at least 1,000 people come to the events and try to see and understand what's going on in this industry, I clearly agree, and I clearly understand that this hype at this new kind of era really becomes. And now a lot of people around the globe been engaged in this industry, wanna see alternative, education, something else. And I'm really grateful to you, to this industry. People around the globe have chances to look something interesting and some alternative. We're talking about blockchain industry. That's why, guys, welcome you. I'm really glad to see you on the near Monday. We are going to start event between 3 points on the globe: Moscow, Dubai, and New York City. Be with us, and I welcome to you as well. See you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And I'm a Bitcoin staring, I'm staring the status quo. Got that crypto going and that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get him until prison send us all to prison. And that's a nerdy living.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet all of you here. It's 26th week of the live daily events has begun. And today on Crypto Monday, we're running on Crypto Bridge between Moscow, Dubai, and New York cities. I'm tuning Crypto Mod rate
in Los Angeles.
And welcome on today all over the world show with my favorite friends. They are Gordon Einstein. Gordon, nice to meet you here. Yeah, and Dmitry Chirun, Dmitry from New York City. Hi, I don't know how it's happened, but people from the Dubai and another one person not arriving yet, but we have to start. Gordon, I will welcome, yes, from your side. It's very nice to see you at this early morning in Los Angeles, in California. What's up? What's on your side? What's interesting happening there?
What's interesting is I'm on a personal level, I'm stuck in the United States. It's the reverse of the usual situation. It used to be everyone was trying to get in the United States and having issues doing that. I think everyone in the United States is trying to get out. Like I could go to Croatia maybe, but I'm kind of grounded. So I appreciate you and shows like this because this is my way to virtually travel. Because of crypto and blockchain, I did so much traveling for 2014 to 2019. Well, that itch is not getting scratched. But now I can virtually be in Moscow. I can virtually be in Dubai. I can virtually be in New York, I guess. So,
actually, what I see around the globe, there is too hot now. I'm in LA at 35 days. In Moscow, it's close to 17, 15. It's like autumn. It's autumn already begun here. I don't know what's happening. Actually, Gordon, we have to jump to New York City. Dmitry, you are here with us online, just spread the information, not only about weather, but about crypto weather on Earth, what's going on in New York City.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm in New York City right now.
You're with us or not?
Yes. Do you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
yes.
Yeah. So I actually was in LA in June and in San Francisco and got back from Europe.
Yes.
Just last month. And
I don't know what's happening. Looks like anyhow unstable. Yes, now good. Looks like good.
Maybe you.
Yeah, I'm seeing Gordon okay also. Cool.
Okay, I see also both of you as well. Just go ahead, guys.
Okay. Yeah, so
yeah.
I'm still traveled recent several months, not so intensively like last year, but I see that in New York, more and more events, still most online, but people doing small gathering and people doing small group meetings, and it's really nice to see how it's going back to normal.
Dmitry, it looks like on back of your side there is a lot amount of the gold. Looks like all the gold from Earth come to New York City and somehow being stored there. What's happening?
Yeah, you see, we live in the world of virtuality right now, and probably it's all about the show. What is real and what is not real right now, people don't understand. I got back from Belarus, where there are a lot of protests right now, but all the people, even my mom in Belarus, she got information from internet right now. So we all live in the global internet.
Actually, how am I being aware that your company or your project is always about the gold and how gold can be stored or can be backed by the money? Am I right or not?
Yeah, so you see, right now, gold is on peak. I think when there is a crisis, people are usually returning back to traditional assets like gold. That is why I think right now people are afraid. There is a lot of uncertainty in the world. People are waiting for the second wave of the COVID, and they try to hedge the risk and returning back to traditional assets that are generations old, thousands of years.
Okay, I see. I got it. Gordon, what do you think? In my opinion, the gold backers are based on Switzerland only. Maybe somehow in the holes of the mountain, and they are storing the gold of for example, of the Europe, the gold of the Russia. No, not about that. The gold of the Europe, only in Europe. Yes, they are still there. What's happening in the United States? In my opinion, in 1976, all United States, I don't know, fake that gold, say that we don't need it anymore. But in 2020, everything comes back. It appears that all stored markets goes down and belief only stored on gold or something else coming out from the humanity mind. They are trying to back one step they're doing one step back to understand what's going on the markets and to be somehow, I don't know, being out of scared to lose their value.
So it's a good it's a good question. I've been thinking about this. If you're talking about just merely an inflationary period where the fiat is getting progressively debased, sure, gold's great, real estate is great, any kind of hard physical asset is great. You know, gold has the additional benefit that people kind of have it in their mind as a form of currency, whereas real estate, you know, it's hard to make change. Yeah. You know, if you're paying in real estate, it's hard to make change if you're paying in gold actually, but it's closer to some kind of form of universal money. But that's in an inflationary context. If you're talking, and it's kind of weird to be thinking about this, but if you're talking about a situation where you're having a civil breakdown, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's not crazy to think it will happen. You know, like Civil War II or something else. And if you're talking about the need to be highly mobile, I'm not sure gold cuts it, because what are you going to do? You know, you can't take enough gold with you on a flight. You can't, if you're running from your house, bring enough with you. It's more like building networks of people that you trust that will defend you and you can defend them, and having staples like food that doesn't rot and be able to work without electricity. I mean, we're going into potentially some kind of survivalist mode. And you know, suppose this all works out and everything's fine. You know, we have situations like in Portland and some other cities where there's pockets of no law and there's pockets of no government. You know, there's these anarchist zones. Those anarchists, they're not taking gold as payment. I mean, maybe they are, but you know, that's a very sort of ad hoc weird relationship. It's more like, do you have a gun? Do you have friends? Do they know you? You know, that kind of stuff. So I guess it depends. You know, to the extent that the U.S. is engaging in other countries, to the extent the U.S. is engaging in massive quantitative easing, sure, gold's great, because you know, any kind of currency that holds its value against something else that's getting debased is going to do well. To the extent these other countries have debt bombs, it's going to do well. But it's not a complete answer.
Okay.
You have the ability to spend it for something.
You know, Gordon, I would like to jump for another question. I don't know why, but all the Russian people which are become entrepreneurs or becoming to do something interesting, for example, some business, the first question is, I'm sorry, is it legal, or is it a legal state? It's very concerned to the crypto. The same question to your side. How many people say that, Gordon, is it legal, or what would you look like? Is, for example, that gold, based on the gold cryptocurrencies, is that legal or not? Or who make that legal chances to the humanity, or the legal chances to the companies?
Well, it's United States is tricky in that there's many agencies with overlapping power. So there's two, you know, just a real quick lesson on constitutional law. There's, unlike most other countries, there's two levels of government. There's the federal layer and the state layer. And when you're talking about the state layer in the United States, you're not kidding around. They're not just provinces. They really do have their own law, and those laws can conflict. So when you have to comply with the law, you're having to comply with both federal law and often state law. And sometimes they contradict. Sometimes federal agencies have overlapping areas of coverage. And sometimes the law is not clear, often on purpose. Like, there's a good argument that the United States Securities Exchange Commission is being intentionally vague and unclear about securities law and crypto in the United States, maybe to protect incumbents. So, you know, I didn't go into blockchain and crypto law to not take risk, you know, and my clients didn't go into this to not take risk. The question is, you know, but there's a difference between reckless risk and strategic risk. If you have a chance to make $1 billion and you're taking on $100 million of risk, maybe that's some risk you should be taking on. Because if the law is not, you know, obviously you don't need to do anything that's criminal, but if the law is not clear, by the time the law is clear, the game's already over. So, you know, the matrix I always apply is, you know, there's two sides. What are our dangers? How serious are they? How can I mitigate those dangers? How can I make them less likely? That's the negative side. On the positive side is what's our opportunities? How can we increase their size? How can we increase the likelihood of them happening? That's the way I think it's a good way to run life, actually. So, but from a legal perspective, we're always like doing an analysis, like, if we minimize impact and the chance of it happening and maximize the impact, positive impact, and chance of the good things happening, is this worthwhile? And often the answer is yes. So, the answer about whether it's legal or illegal is often maybe. That's why everyone loves lawyers, right? Because, we can't,
Dmitry,
I think we're
is they where the company, the company, okay, what's going on with the internet? No, I think it's somehow destabilized. Dmitry, question goes to your side. Yeah, something interesting happening. I don't know. Looks like everything good from my side. Oh, go ahead. Dmitry, I know that
we'll figure it out. Just keep going.
Your company called US Gold Currency. Okay, and USG currency is 100% backed by monetary gold. Always have 1-to-1 exchange. American Eagle one gold. It should be US, but by US mind.
Sergey, you're breaking up.
How it works, I don't know.
I can see Gordon, but I hardly hear you.
Dmitry, I'm going to step in for him. Can you explain your business model and distinguish it from other business models? And just kind of, I think I know you, but I'm not terribly familiar with what you're doing. I know of you. Can you just describe it for my benefit and the benefit of the audience?
Yeah, so I'm advisor US Gold. Also, I'm advisor to IBM Columbia Accelerator. My background is cryptography and video gaming. So for the US Gold, Wyoming corporation, and it's can be always redeemed to American Eagle. So the difference, let's say, between the US Gold and past gold, that is the currency, because American Eagle, it's stamped at like $50. Besides that, like the value of the gold is higher. Yeah, and
so do you have one American Eagle backing?
Yeah, one. Yeah, so
one
USG. It's Ethereum based. It's one USG can always be redeemed to American Eagle. One USG is one American Eagle physical coin minted by US Gold Mint.
And then where's the collateral held? Dare I ask?
And in the vault.
Okay,
US.
Got it.
And people, you see, people can enter through the banking system, and also people can do redemption. So, and US Gold can ship the gold to several countries that are not restricted. Yeah. So it means that comparing, let's say, to stable coins that is based on the, let's say, dollar like USDT, you can enter or exit only through the banking system. But here there is another opportunity to move out. And when Gordon, you say that you cannot take the gold with you, then there are possibilities that gold can be shipped. When people can do redemption process.
Well, it'd be interesting if you. So if I'm hearing you correctly, the physical location of the gold is the United States. It'd be interesting if there's global locations. So. I could buy it in the U.S. I could go to Switzerland, and then I could go redeem my U.S. gold for.
Yeah, they can ship to other countries. Not only in the U.S.
What if they held some in the U.S. and some in Switzerland? So when I go to the U.S., so when I go to Switzerland, they don't have to ship it over. Yeah. But I merely withdraw from what's available in Switzerland.
Yeah. Right now, no. As I said, if it's will be, then probably the next step can be this. I saw a couple of projects. And I spoke with one project with Singapore, and they were thinking to have a couple of walls in UK and in Singapore, and then to have just local delivery. And the other interesting case, if project is baked and then people wanted to redeem in some other country, maybe in the future, like people can do something like can redeem to other like type of the like gold, you see, because in reality, like it's kind of like early stage, and right now mostly people are working on the stable coins that just like not based on the system of beliefs or something, to have like just a belief that it will be like more stable and there is like hard assets. But then in the future, whether you need like this like collateral or other collateral, you know, the same like in Lombard, like when you put some collateral, you may like have like barter relationship and get other collateral. Maybe in the future there will be such project who will implement this.
That's
so
interesting. So you're, I mean, so you're not, just to point out what you're not Libra backed by a basket of assets. You're literally just tethered to one specific asset, gold, and a specific kind of coin.
American Eagle. Yeah, so US Gold is American Eagle only.
Interesting. So
that is why you see like Gordon, this use case, it's more about to have like a currency. And so it's not commodity. When you have like
is it not a commodity? That was my next question. Tell me why it's not a commodity.
Because like coin is stamped at $50.
Well, it's exchange. You know, the fact that commodity can be exchanged for currency doesn't make the commodity not a commodity.
Yeah, okay, but I mean it's more like currency. So because it's there is like $50 monetary value by.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So let me ask you a question. If the price of gold goes up, does the price of the American Eagle go up and also?
Yes, but it's the price is tied to the Fed pricing, and Fed like put it like change the price like every like Tuesday. So it's not tied to the London pricing.
Interesting. That's a unique.
Oh, it means that
it's an interesting project. There's interesting consequences.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's an interesting use case comparing to other, like it's not just like to have like bulk of the gold and just like tokenize some part of it so that you can have like share of some bricks of the gold, but this is different concept. Yeah.
That's okay. That's there's like bullion coin and things like that I think claim to be backed by gold also, but you're making an interesting distinction, which is the issue with bullion was always, if you have a partial interest, like there's not a 1-for-1 match, you can't really withdraw. There's no particular bullion that's assigned to your interest. But if you're talking about that, one token represents one of these coins, it's sort of like an undivided interest in the complete piece of property, which kind of changes its characteristics in a very interesting way. So if you go international, are you going to still use a US-based coin, or are you going to use, what would you use, say, for example, in Switzerland, if you were to go?
What do you mean?
Well, right now, if I understand correctly, using like the US Eagle coin, right?
Yeah, so like USG is American Eagle coin, right? So
it means it's a different country. Are you going to use that coin?
Yeah, when I gave you like examples that it might be interesting that somebody will implement, because for the end user, what I see in reality is they are not tied to specifically say whatever like American Eagle like coin, but rather they wanted to have like some gold, and it's more about from the usability point of view. Like it's not like part of the USG project.
Interesting. Huh. It's a cool project.
But I foresee in the future there will be like projects that will have the ability to redeem to different type of the coins.
You may also want to come up with your own coin, like an international coin that's not a big bullion, but some small fungible coin that's not national, denationalized, that has a serial number on it or something. So
yeah, like I spoke with one project from Singapore. I forgot the name, but what they're doing, they have a mine and they have like a refinery, and they minting their own coins, and then they put a number that is tied to the part of the hash. I think from some of the fork of the Bitcoin. Yeah, and then they have also sealed this to some wrapping. And then they have their own like coins that is kind of also tracked. And speaking was one other project, it's named like Clear Gold. What they're trying to do, they're trying to also have this from the mine directly. And the difference is that they're using different technology to mine the gold, more like eco-friendly. And it will be also blockchain that will do like supply chain management for this. And I think like it's interesting that it's kind of like mixed. It's not only monetary value, but also like people wanted to see where it's come from. And you see, it's not only like matter of the exchange or story of the values, but also they wanted to see where it was mined. Because you see, when you have your gold stored in the vault, and if you deliver it to the door, then going back, you pay some kind of like premium if you want to store this, because they need to do testify when they accept gold from you. And if it's all like tracked on the blockchain, then we definitely see how like this specific asset changing ownership.
Interesting. And also, if it's blockchain tradable, they don't necessarily need to go to your vault to recover it. Like I could start a vault with the gold coins in it and say, look, if you transfer me one of these tokens on the blockchain, I will give you the gold. I mean, why not? Because I can always go to you and redeem the token for the gold. So it's kind of implicitly opening it up for other people to operate vaults.
Yeah, interesting idea.
Yeah. Sergey, I think I've been watching.
I would like to talk a little bit about editable things, because now all of us, yes, I don't know, get crazy about sushi, about pasta, about vodka, something else. What's on your side? Because now in Russia, everything get crazy about that coins, and it looks like all finances over the globe goes only on that side. Some looks like all liquidity from gold, from money, from somewhere else going on there. Gordon.
Yeah, and just be clear, I was waiting for your internet to be stable. I didn't want to take over, but you're back, you're clear, you're beautiful.
I see.
I'm sort of new to DeFi. It's one of those things I was like, yeah, before, but now I keep on, all my guests, we'll be talking about on my show, and and all the projects that are coming in are DeFi related. So I've started to explore, and the stuff I heard before wasn't necessarily good, like Yam. And Sushiswap just now, but when I'm digging a little bit more, of course there's exit scams. There's scams everywhere, but a lot of them seem to be not quite exit scams when there's issues, but programming errors. Like I think the Yam thing was mainly a programming error. They had a problem with their rebase code. And with Sushiswap, I don't know if that guy actually made off with anything that wasn't his. The semi-anonymous founder of Sushiswap. I mean, I think they were his coins. I think he just pumped them and dumped them. It's not like he forked or did an exit scam, right? But the amount of liquidity being provided and assigned to these liquidity pools, like the automated market maker things like Uniswap and everything else, it's stunning. It's an interesting innovation that they're kind of getting away from the Ethereum gas model and finding ways to handle these markets. It's the solution. The ability to have DEXs with instant liquidity is a real thing. That's solving a real traditional problem. I don't know. It's I'm kind of old school. Like I like Bitcoin, but this is
Gordon. I have heard today that backers of the Sushiswap token are FTX company and a little bit Binance, and this information is already have checked. That's why it's not something no-name company of the founder, which are not find it everywhere. It's really huge. They are huge whales on crypto industry. We're talking about FTX and the Binance. That's why we have to hear what's going on really. And it's not looks like end scam, exit scam in this moment. It looks like it's really a big game changer, and the liquidity which came out from the Uniswap and goes to the Sushi side now looks like very real. Dmitry, maybe your thoughts. What do you think about that? I understand that gold is, I don't know, number one on your side, but the second, maybe some editable things also looks like good from your side.
Yeah, I think it's in general, it's kind of the process that bring more attention, and you see like I saw also kind of like period was a lot of speculations, but it's needed period, and my opinion is that like the hype on DeFi, there will be a lot of like exit scams, and we definitely like seeing other periods in crypto and other industry. It's not about, let's say, technology, it's rather about the behavior of some specific individuals who are like bad actors. It's unavoidable. The same like happen in VC world, in traditional, let's say, startups. It's everywhere. But what is interesting is that the question is whether this new cycle bring new users and new money, or these are like old user and old money that just like reiterating between each other, and just like it's a redistribution of the like assets, or it's something that bring like a new flow, like new air, you know. That's the question that I would ask. And I saw like a couple of graphs and correlations that so far I didn't see that like it's like a new people who are coming into the space, but that is where we and in general, like I think like industry should be focused to bring like more mass adoptions into this. And when there will be mass adoption, then like it will be more mainstream, because even like right now you see like Gordon saying like, oh, we are like old school, like Bitcoin and so on. You see,
Yeah.
Bitcoin is already like old school, but for a lot of people, it's still like something, what is a Bitcoin? A lot of people, like the world is big, you know, and only a small amount of people right now in crypto. And to have mass adoption, there should be a lot of like more focus on the education and like hybrid type of the application. Let's say my background is like video gaming also, and I see that in video games, like this year there are a lot of like hybrid type of the games when the game do not expose, let's say, crypto on the like mobile version, but from the web version you can buy through crypto, let's say, and this bring casual users.
I'm sorry, Dmitry, could you repeat what you just said? I didn't quite catch it. Just say that again, please.
For video games, like I say, like there are like hybrid type of the application when, let's say, mobile version of them, they do not expose, let's say, crypto to the users. Users are playing, they have some in-game assets, but they can buy through crypto on the web version. And this help like casual user to learn, because they already like playing the game or whatever like application, using it, and over the time they slowly like expose it to new ideas inside the application. But since you already put your effort, your learning curve is already, you already tied to the application, and then slowly you unveil, oh, like I have some assets, so I can do this and this additional like features. It's not that you just from the beginning need to understand everything, and this is like not a short and quick process, I think, to educate people.
You're making a great point, which is sort of like the gamification of crypto education and making it so you can go step by step. Something popping on the screen. What are we looking at?
You know, guys, I would like to show you something interesting. I am personally looks like very old school at this moment, because I am, this platform, DeFirex, is working with Compound, and it's, I don't know, making collateral, so something looks at, but now everything is happening much more quicker than here, because here, well, how you see, it's just 48, very small amount of the person per year annually, 48% per year, but on the sushi, on the vodka, on the something else, we are making at least, I don't know, 300, 400, somewhere 1,000 persons per year annually. Huge amount of the money. That's why I am also looking like old school in this industry. Besides, I am engaged in the DeFi industry as well. You know, actually, Gordon, I know that you are personally looking for good connection between East and West. I'm sorry for my connection today, because I'm on the East, you are on the West, and we are trying to find and reach.
Now it's good. Your internet, whatever it was, now you're good.
Now it's good, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just I want to give you the word to you that tell us how do you interested in this connection between East and West? What's interest from your side? I know that your wife is Russian. I am looking for the American. You are interconnected with each other, and we are making this world just in one place, not two places.
I actually, I met Gordon first time like in flesh in Ukraine.
Wow! Yeah.
Mary. Oh, actually, it's a cool story.
Yeah.
So I've always liked the way the Russian language sounds, and by that I mean sort of like, the greater Russian language, the Ukrainian, Belarusian, but I've always liked the way it sounds. I've been trying to learn it for a very long time. Now, there's an expression or joke, that for an American learning Russian, the first 10 years is the hardest. Well, I've done my first 10 years and it's still hard, unless you're there, it's rough. But it's kind of funky. Like in 2014, I think, I was at a convention in New York. I had a booth there, and who walks in but Pavel Kravchenko from Distributed Lab. And we know him personally. Yeah. Say again?
Yeah, we know him personally. Both of us, all of us know him personally, Pavel Kravchenko.
Yeah, he's a great connector, great guy. Long story short, in 2014, Ukraine was right in the middle of a war. But he was nice enough to invite me to go visit. And I said, it's like, okay, this is embarrassing, but I had, not counting Mexico, I hadn't left the United States for 25 years.
Wow.
So I hadn't left the United States for as long as you guys have been alive. See, I'm making you young. But I was like, screw it. So I went to Odessa, and because this crazy American guy, he had actually been at my house, crashed at my place in Los Angeles, made him dinner, gave him wine, all that good stuff. So kind of to reciprocate the hospitality, when I was in Odessa, he invited all his crypto and blockchain friends there to make me feel comfortable and happy. And that was the start of Blockchain Incredible Party, BIP. So BIP started because crazy American guy went to Ukraine in the middle of the conflict, in Donetsk and in the Donbass region. So I was exposed to this. I wasn't actually practicing it a lot at the time. I didn't understand Bitcoin and blockchain. Plus, most of this conversation was in Russian, so I didn't really catch it. But I liked it there. It was fun, and all the interesting people, good food, all that other stuff. So I went back a few times and hung out with them, and I was always at these conferences. And then finally, believe me, my Russian's horrible, but finally I understood enough of the conversation going on around me that I'm like, this Bitcoin and blockchain stuff sounds interesting. So then I actually read the white paper, and then I actually started doing some research on it. Like, oh, okay, got it. So I basically need to go back to the law after having stopped practicing the law and dedicate the next chunk of my life to this because it's so amazing and interesting. And just because meeting Pavel and Distributed Lab in the beginning, my initial focus of all these relationships was in Ukraine, Odessa, Kiev, and Lviv, or Lvov, however you want to say it. And so, it just kind of got out of there. And then, yeah, my wife is an American citizen who's from Russia, and everything seems aligned. So now there's so much creativity in, I don't even know what to call it right now, but there's so much creativity and entrepreneurship in the ex-Soviet space. The way people think there is very aggressive and unique. I like it. And just like I personally bridge these worlds, I want to have crypto and blockchain bridge these worlds because I think there's a lot that can get done. So you and I have had good conversations about this.
Good, Gordon. Actually, I have to say that all this stuff have to be keep going because when Russian people knows English much more than now, and people from United States like you, which are like Russians and like me somehow be interconnected, is no way to to know all the languages around the globe. Because I know that from while of the time we have to know Chinese as well to try to interconnect and try to reach them. Yes, as well. Now
we'll leave that to Juliet Sue.
Yeah,
I'm not going to learn Chinese in this life. I just know it. So
you'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, guys. What I want to just somehow not introduce, announce. I want to announce future shows with the Gordon Einstein, Gordon, I'm really lucky to have me on your show. We're trying to finding something interesting together, because I am personally very interested in American market. I am personally interested to be much more native speaker in English as well, but I'm trying to help you to know Russian a little bit more and and to reach each other on this crazy world. I see that this world is keep going more changing in a good way, in a not very bad way. This crypto industry, this decentralized finance are changing mind of the people, just looking around, looking good opportunities to making money, not making scam, not making exit scam, just looking for making money, just going back on gold, looking for another kind of, I don't know, spreading money awards from leader. I'm sorry, my English now, comes to look down.
Better than my Russian, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's why for me it's good to finalize this show from your side, guys. I know, Dmitry, just finalize our event for today. Maybe some thoughts about our next day or our future.
Yeah, I think, like for me, like if related to the gold, then I would foresee that there will be more interest into the like assets, and also like you see crypto adoptions is good for small country, and it's adopted like more. Like in my home country where I was born in Belarus right now, people like using like crypto funds to help the victims who were like tortured or who were like persecuted by the like police there, and they're using like crypto because there is no like dollars that they can change inside the country. So and small countries are more easy to adopt because like my friend like Makota, they did implementation in Cambodia. They did like stable coin that is multi-fiat collateral, and it's based on the permission blockchain, but it's on the level of the country. And I think we will see in the future more and more adoption, but it will not go like crazy, like stuff like during the ICO boom when like a lot of people like jumped into the game because of the gambling. You see, when we have like incentive like to have some profit, then like we are easy to jump into the game. Like brain is not working, not thinking, people jumping. Oh, like cool, quick money, people jumping. I remember this like crazy time in 2017. I was mostly from the other side, like from the investor point of view, like helping them to do due diligence on this, how I name like kid startups. But right now, like I see that more and more institutions are adopting this. And it's like, as Gordon said, it's became kind of old. But new things always like happen, and it's more real right now, like more real project like tied to the needs of the people than just like pushing through the marketing.
Okay, we got your point. Yes, very interesting that gold already tested at least 100 past years. That's why, yes, it's good back money. Gordon.
What's the general question? Like, where's the world going?
No, it's not a question. We have to finalize today's event. That's why a lot of time we're already here. That try to, I don't know.
Look, I look forward to doing some shows with you. I'm very pleased that you came up with the idea of bridging these worlds. I think it's something that needs to get done. I think I'll point out that, the world, I don't know if we're heading to some apocalypse, but we're definitely heading into something really interesting. With the political situation in the US, with the economic situation of coronavirus, with China rising, with new technologies and AI and everything else. And it's more, you can't ignore this stuff and you can't stick your head in the sand. And it's good to make money and it's good to have a profit because then you have the resources to do good things. But I think it's important to be sort of spiritually and economically aligned, and to have the strength that your ethics and code and spirituality, whatever you want to call it, give you to smartly deal with what's coming next. I don't necessarily think we're in some Mad Max future, some crazy thing, but we're in for some interesting times. We're in interesting times right this second. I mean, the reason we're all Zooming is it's interesting, and I don't think it's not going to get less interesting. It's going to get more interesting. So, make money, but be spiritually strong. And, the more connections we can make with people in different places and talk these things through, I think the better it is.
Yeah, good words. It's all about the people at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, I want to thank you for your time today. I'm sure that our friends from the Dubai may be, somehow be very busy at this moment because it's real ongoing event on their side. I want to say thank you, and we'll look forward to have you for next crypto month. And as well, thank you, Gordon. Thank you, Dmitry. Thank you, Elizabeth, for promoting, for making this happen, Robert. And I'm sure that all of us became coin baron. Yes, and all of you. Yes, good stuff. Nice to meet you guys. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Rock blockchains, knock 'em out the box, I'm on Doc's main. Key ring full of water data. I gotta pray that my ASIC incinerators blow the mind like a creeper one time in my circus divine. A fine way to keep the power bill in check. My equipment is starting to sweat from the heat. Crypto anarchy becoming a threat. So rappers like to rock pools. I got pools you can't swim in, but I'm collecting a spice like a Fremen. So you fools get stepping and get to choosing your weapon because the definite roar of indefinite war is epic. I found a new way to debit the people. I generate an address, then I generate a sequel. I get medieval when I'm taking payment, cause I don't want the NSA all stuck up in my anus. Yeah, I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison send us all to prison. And that's a nerdy